What's good? It's Woog. So I've been thinking for a while, or just kind of wondering what Golden Boy Promotions was going to do with Vergil Ortiz Jr., the highly touted prospect at 147, who kind of made a splash a couple years ago by just destroying kind of the former slick, sweet science guy, Mauricio Herrera, who some of you might remember gave Danny Garcia a very difficult fight. Many thought that Herrera beat Garcia. This is when Garcia was still at 140. But Vergil Ortiz just destroyed an older Herrera and has since just been dismantling one guy after another. Brad Solomon, another former prospect himself, who Vergil Ortiz recently stopped. But Vergil Ortiz Jr., at only 21, 22 years old, is looking like the real deal. He changes levels well, he feints well, great jab, a lot of power when he starts sitting down on he sits down on a lot of his punches. Like when he starts throwing, he's throwing lasers to the body as well. Very intelligent fighter, but he hits hard too. So I was wondering what Golden Boy was going to do with this guy, because Al Heyman, PBC, have almost all of the relevant 147-pound fighters. Bob Arum, Top Rank, has Terrence Crawford, but it's Al Heyman, PBC, who has Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, even Ugas. Manny Pacquiao is more of a free agent, a floater. Same thing with Mikey Garcia, whose older brother / trainer is also Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s trainer, Robert Garcia. My deepest condolences to the Garcia family as well. Mikey and Robert's mother passed away due to COVID. Very, very sad news. But Robert Garcia, is also Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s trainer. So Ortiz is, down with the right people. I mean, that camp, La Colonia in Oxnard, California, is one of the major stables of great fighters, Mexican fighters specifically, over the years. Fernando Vargas, Antonio Margarito, Abner Mares, and then even non-Mexican fighters like Nonito Donaire and Argentinian Marcos Maidana. So they've had a lot of fighters. Victor Ortiz is one of them. Brandon Rios, and of course, Mikey Garcia. But it looks like they're making this Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Maurice Hooker. They're trying to make this thing official. I don't know if the official announcement's been made, but it sounds like an agreement's been made, or, just one of those significant steps on the way to making a fight. It sounds like a lot of boxes have been checked, And so my first thoughts are like, damn, like why does Maurice Hooker want to make this one of his first 147-pound fights? I mean, I get the whole go big or go home, but he lost a fight by knockout recently against a kind of a pressure fighter who's looking to just break you over the course of rounds, in Jose Ramirez, who's going to be fighting to unify the 4 belts versus Josh Taylor at 140. So Maurice Hooker has since gone up to 147, and now he's going to fight like an even better version, in my opinion, of like a Jose Ramirez. Another Robert Garcia trained fighter, by the way. But I think Vergil Ortiz Jr. is way more technical at this point than Ramirez. I mean, Ramirez is far from like a boxing dummy. He's not just a plotter who's just looking to bang, with very no. He's very skilled as well. But we have now seen Ramirez kind of outboxed at least twice on the highest levels versus Zepeda, who many thought should have won versus Ramirez via decision. Ramirez earned the close decision in that one. And then again, to some degree, versus Victor Postol, another close decision win, and deserved win. I don't think Postol got robbed. I thought that it was a close fight. That I would shade it Ramirez's way. I think he won that fight. Very close though, and it was because Postol's defense first, movement based, sweet science style of boxing. It just had Ramirez kind of running into a lot of traffic and, getting caught with a lot of jabs. But Ramirez, over the course of a few rounds, broke the taller, longer, slicker Maurice Hooker, whose corner was just pleading with him between rounds, stay off the ropes, stay off the corner. but it caught up with Hooker, and Ramirez, they stopped the fight. It was a pretty bad TKO. It was sudden, but I didn't have a problem with the stoppage. So Hooker is now challenging Vergil Ortiz Jr. at 147 in a couple months or something, and I'm just thinking, whew, like, ugh. Take on maybe another confidence builder, not a slouch, but somebody who's not as like physically gifted or as undefeated and confident and just all systems go. Like if Lamont Peterson was still fighting, right? Like he retired a couple years ago, but if he something like that where it's like a noticeable, it's a quality, credible opponent, but not somebody who's just one of the worst fights that you could take right now in this division, in my opinion. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. But on the other hand, I do like it because it's an interesting fight between two very talented fighters. I just think that timing-wise, matchups-wise, it's not gonna bode well for Maurice Hooker. We'll see if he could, put on a signature performance and prove that theory wrong. So how would he do it? He would outbox him over the course of 12 rounds without getting like caught and maybe dropped or stopped by somebody who really wants to make him work and wants to really put him under the pressure cooker and jab to the body. Vergil Ortiz will throw a feint with the right so he could, get the guy to kind of clinch and cringe on one side just so he could load up on the body shot with the left hand. And sometimes his changing of timing it just allows the punch to splash on the guy's ribs or liver area. There's just a lot of ways that Vergil Ortiz is stressing his opponents out, and I would like to have seen Hooker have to like get tested, like, okay, move, give this guy enough of a punch to respect so he thinks twice before trying to collapse the pocket, hit him with like a sneaky uppercut, do an opponent dirty, and then fight a Vergil Ortiz Jr. And don't get me wrong, this is probably going to be Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s toughest opponent, highest quality opponent to date as well. I'm just saying that Hooker is not yet, tested or even really qualified at 147. He was at 140, but not yet 147. And I worry about that. But yeah, those are my first thoughts on the fight. Hats off to both guys if they get this one done, because this is another example of young boxers daring to be great. But yeah, let me know your first thoughts on this fight. We'll see if they make it official. But yeah, that's a goodie if it does go down. Please leave your comments in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are into the fight talk, I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.